Okay, I'm going to give you a pro move here for every young husband, father. It's called the gorilla hug, and I'll run you through how you do it, but also why it's such a great move when things start to get kind of tense with you and your wife. So who are you? I only talk to young Christian husband fathers. And who am I? I am a 50-year-old dude who's been married 25 years. I pastor a small church for 20 years, same one. I have 4 kids who've all graduated and gone on to life and are walking with the Lord. So that's who I am. I'm also entrepreneurial. I've been in business for a while. And so I'm only talking to guys who have the same kinds of problems that we all have. And so this one tip, this one technique is really huge, and it's worked wonders for guys I know, including me. Okay, so from time to time, your wife is going to kind of get, maybe she gets frazzled, and maybe she panics or freaks out. Maybe she gets super pissed and kind of rages. That happens. Maybe she lashes out and says things that she totally should apologize for and hopefully will, but sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes she just totally gets exasperated with the kids, and then you're left with all that. So life is like that, and young wives are like that. I think also sometimes old wives are like that. So this gorilla hug is pretty clutch, and I'm going to tell you why. One is, and by the way, a gorilla hug is like you hug her like a gorilla, which is you take your arms and you put them around her tightly, and that helps her sort of stabilize. I'm going to run you through all the things that I think that this accomplishes, but I'm just running you through the technique now. So you wrap her up, and then you're able to have access to her ear, and that's when you can start bringing resolution and prayer and peace into the moment, okay? So that's how you do it. Why it works. Because we do know that women really do need safety, and part of some acting out from time to time revolves around that, about they feel threatened or like everything in their world is spinning out of control. And so by you wrapping up physically and putting pressure around them, it lets them know that there's somebody and something bigger than them. And whether they want to say that or not, that's actually a super valuable thing for them. It also shrinks distance. So part of what is so important in marriage is intimacy, which is that depth of connection. And when you are 6 feet away from each other and maybe making mean faces at each other or saying tough words to each other, that is not intimacy. But when you move forward and wrap her up in this sort of gorilla hug, bear hug, whatever, it makes a big difference. So it shrinks space. It adds containment. It lets her know where perimeters are. And in a way, it really reframes her reality. So whatever it is that's exploding in her little world or in her mind, it now has something bigger that comes around that. Now, when you're there, that's the perfect opportunity to let her, she might sob, she might just start crying. She might even kind of struggle a little bit and then sort of ease into being hugged deeply and loved. It may mean that she's able to then just start whispering the things that are really in her heart, and then so she's kind of venting what's going on. But it's also a great opportunity for you to just echo true things, just to say true things back to her. So you're able to just give 1-sentence reminders of, how much you love her, or how faithful God has been, or how no matter what happens, the Lord is in our future. You can use that moment and have access to her ear to be saying the true things that reinforce that grounding for her. You can also pray, so you can just immediately start in and start worshiping and thanking God. That is also like repositioning. She's in sort of stress, fight and flight kind of mode, and then the next thing you know, you're praying, and that's adjusting the world that she was in just minutes before. So the gorilla hug is big. You might find that the gorilla hug is so good that you do it every day, that you just kind of wake up and before you're out the door, there's a gorilla hug. And maybe it's the last thing you do before going to bed or before trips or whatever. But the gorilla hug is like big. It's bigger. It doesn't seem like it would be that big a deal, but I find it's bigger than I ever thought. It seems to always do something good. So don't use it like as a control mechanism, like trying to keep her from being able to say the things she needs to say. Don't shut her down. But there is a sense in which only you can be that for her. And in a crazy world full of a lot of chaos and noise, and it's a scary place, you doing that for her is huge. Also, don't do it in a way where you're like grabbing her butt and doing all the sexy stuff, because now she's not really sure about where's this coming from? Is this coming from true, I want to help you, or are you getting all handsy? There's definitely a place for handsy, probably not in the gorilla hug. So, hope this helps. Take care.